Check out that shirt real quick, eh? How bad do you want it? Okay, that's fucking awesome. I wore that for a reason because I want to talk about urgency, deadlines, and how time is as precious as it is, and the amount of time that we have is very, very limited to accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish. At the end, I'll give you a couple of techniques that you can practically apply to maximize your time and effort in the gym and maximize your return on investment of time. Now, when I look around most gyms, I see, or what I don't see actually, is people training with a sense of urgency. A lot of people are training as if they have all the time in the world to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish, if they even want to accomplish anything at all. And it's unfortunate because when you have a deadline for something, the urgency that accompanies that means that our focus is intensified, our senses are sharpened, and our effort is maximized because we know that to accomplish our goal within the time allotted, we're going to have to bring it. And when you don't have a deadline and you have no urgency, you don't need to bring it. And if you don't bring it, what are you really there for? You're not maximizing your time. You're not going to maximize your return on time and effort invested. So, Parkinson's law is something that can kind of explain the natural human tendency to take as much time or as little time as needed to accomplish something. Now, Parkinson's law dictates that a task will swell in perceived importance and complexity in direct relation to the time allotted to perform the task. Meaning that if you only have an hour to get something done, you're going to do whatever you need to do to make sure that you get that done because you have a deadline. Anybody that's ever turned in a paper for school can understand and appreciate the importance of deadlines, right? When you have a deadline coming up, what happens is your focus intensifies, your efforts are very concentrated, and you put forth, the best product possible to get the best grade possible. At least I would hope so. When you have a 9 to 5, you have 8 full hours to fill every single day because you're on the clock. So you got to fill those hours. And what happens is most people don't have 8 actual hours of work to do. I would argue that, almost everyone doesn't have 8 full hours of work to do every single day. But since you're supposed to be there for 8 hours, what do? You fill that time however you need to. But if your boss was to say, you can go home when you get your work done, are you actually going to take 8 full hours to get the job done? Probably not. Any entrepreneur, probably is much more efficient with their time because they know that they're not on the clock. They have a limited amount of time to get their work done so that they can move on to whatever project is going to be most beneficial to them. And they're going to bring their best effort every single time because they have such a limited amount of time to work with in the first place. Now, I think if most people had self-imposed deadlines in terms of their workout, they would probably put forth a better effort and as a result get a better result because of it. So I'm a numbers guy and numbers don't lie. So I put together this little whiteboard here with some diagrams to hopefully demonstrate the importance of time and how limited it is. So what we got here is we got 52. 52 is indicative of how many weeks there are per year. Most people that have a goal that is important to them will work out anywhere between 4 and 5 days a week. If you work out 4 days a week, 52 weeks, 208 workouts per year. 5 days a week, 260 workouts per year. Most people will miss 2 weeks. So we're going to shave 2 weeks off there because people get sick or take vacation. Others understand the importance of allowing the body to resensitize so that they can get more results with their training. We shave those 2 weeks off. You work out 4 days a week, you're looking at 198 workouts per year. 5 days a week, 250. So most people will train anywhere between 198 and 250 times per year. If you're training to build muscle, you got 5 major body parts that you want to target over the course of each week. You can do so you could train a muscle more than once a week, but you're going to have to take away from somewhere else because you can't just keep training and training and training. You'll overwork your body's capacity to recover. So most people will train a muscle once a week. There's 5 major muscles: the chest, the back, the legs, the shoulders, the arms. Abs, calves, and forearms are trained as needed based on personal requirements or your desires. This means that every muscle is trained anywhere between 40 and 50 times per year. You have 40 to 50 opportunities to improve a muscle group, to make it bigger, to make it stronger, to make it look the way you want it to. If we put this into percentages, one workout, if you work out 5 days a week, is 0.2%. Doesn't sound like much. One workout 4 days a week is 0.5%. Still doesn't sound like much. But given that you're only training each body part once per week, that means one workout per body part equates to 2% of all the opportunities you're going to have this year to make that body part better, or as best as possible by next year. So I'm using a year. A year's the deadline in this example. Obviously, if you have 6 months to get the job done, then these numbers are, amplified. If you have 2 years to get it done, then they're minimized a little bit. But most people, you should be able to accomplish whatever goal you want to accomplish within a year. Now, Steve Jobs said that good artists copy and great artists steal. And that's exactly what I've done with what's written on this board here, on the rest of the board anyways. Completely fucking stolen. Stolen from a video called The Best Motivation. And the reason it's stolen is because that video is fucking awesome and motivated the fuck out of me. And I think it'll do the same for most people because it demonstrates the importance of time. And the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is the concept of productivity. That you're going to do the most that you can with the time that you have. You're going to put forth the best effort to the best of your ability in the allotted time that you have, because time is the most precious commodity that there is. It's the one thing you can't buy or ever buy back. It's not for sale. It's not redeemable. If you piss away your time, it's gone forever. So successful people understand this, which is why they try to the best of their ability to make sure they do things right the first time. Unsuccessful people, however, simply go through the motions. They do things wrong the first time, and they have to go back and do it again the second time. Now, a lot of people think that what they do is beneficial and will go to the gym and they'll work out and will think that they're better off because of it. But it's not about just showing up. A lot of people will gauge the effectiveness of a workout by how tired they are. If your goal is to get tired, keep working out. But if you have a goal that's important to you, specific, and you want to accomplish something, then you're going to have to be very calculated with what you do. You're going to have very precise reasons for why you're doing what you're doing. And you're going to have to bring your best fucking effort because your time is limited. Every workout per body part over the course of the year, if you train once a week, reflects a 2% of all the workouts that you're going to be able to do for that body part. So it's not about just showing up. It's what did you do and how did you do it? There are two techniques I can give you that can help maximize your return on investment of time and effort immediately, especially if you want to build muscle. Drop sets and the rest pause method or technique. Now, the reason these methods are as effective as they are is because they result in multiple maximal voluntary contractions being performed. Now, a maximal voluntary contraction is basically the last rep of any set. It is a maximal voluntary contraction, meaning you can't do another one. Meaning that the only way to do so is to either take a brief intermittent rest to allow ATP to regenerate, which is what you do if you're doing a rest pause, or pick up a lighter weight and continue with the set. So those are two methods that you can use right away to increase the efficiency of your workouts and maximize your return on invested time and effort. Now, at the bottom here, wrote another diagram. These techniques are obviously very, very difficult to do. But if you're not happy where you're at and you want to be at your goal in whatever time you've given yourself, whether it's a year or 6 months or 2 years or whatever, then you're going to have to make sacrifices and be effective with your time. Eric Thomas talks about the successful people are willing to sacrifice who they are today and what they're doing for what they wish to become. Kai Green talks about being able to take comfort in going to bed every night and looking back over the course of his day to say that he had an effective day or in a day of efficient action, because the efficient actions add up to ultimately get him to where he wants to go. And he's not surprised at the end of the year when he's exactly where he wanted to be, because it was the result of multiple days of efficient action strung together over a sustained period of time. That's why he's a champion. That's why he's a winner. Vince Lombardi said that winning isn't a sometimes thing. It's an all the time thing. You don't do things right once in a while, and you don't win once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit, and so is losing. So if you want to get to where you want to go, you need to fucking bring it every fucking day. Make a habit of it. Otherwise, you will not get there. Now, to maximize the effectiveness of these techniques, You got to have the right mindset to do so because they're really, really, really hard. If they were easy, everyone would do them all the time. And one of the things that I do with people that want to train with me or want to be wowed, there's no secret out there. The secret is effort. And the easiest way to make someone put in a lot of effort is to apply those two techniques. You make someone do a rest pause set, when they think the set is over and you tell them to keep going 10 seconds later, it's really fucking exhausting. You get people sweating real quick. And it's not even about the sweat, it's about the effort and making the muscles do work. But the sweat is obviously a reflection of their effort. Now, on the topic of mindset and how it relates to these two techniques, I'm reminded of, an Arnold Schwarzenegger soundbite where Arnold was saying that, Muhammad Ali was asked how many sit-ups he does, and he says, I don't know. I don't count how many sit-ups I do. I only start counting when it starts burning, because those are the ones that really count. That mindset is exactly what is needed to make these techniques and methods as effective as they can be. And Tony Robbins said that if you want to duplicate the success of somebody else, the first thing you need to do is duplicate their mindset. It's not about duplicating their conditions or duplicating their circumstances or saying, I'll never get the result they have because I don't have the genetics or I don't take the drugs that they do. No, it's about the fucking effort. Now, yes, you may not look like a professional bodybuilder without taking what a professional bodybuilder takes, but you can transform your body and look however you want to as long as you're willing to bring the effort. It all comes down to how bad you want it and understanding that time is as precious as it is and time is as limited as it is. And if you want to maximize your time, you're going to have to bring the effort because you only have such a limited amount of time each year. You got 40 to 50 opportunities to make every body part what you want it to be by next year at this time. So, I'll leave it with this. When Roy Jones was fighting Antonio Tarver in the early 2000s there, in their second fight, they fought 3 times. Second fight, Antonio Tarver knocked him right the fuck out. And before the fight, the ref asks them after they touch gloves, do you guys have any questions? And Antonio Tarver said to Roy Jones, I got a question. What's your excuse tonight, Roy? As in, I'm so confident that I'm fucking bringing it and I'm going to knock you the fuck out. I don't want to hear afterwards that you aren't 100% or you got injured in your training camp before this fight. I want to know right now why this is about to happen. What's your excuse? So after seeing this and after hearing some of the things I've just said, what's your excuse? What's your excuse for not putting forth your best effort? For not bringing it every single day, every single rep, every single set, every single workout? What's your excuse? How bad do you want it? If you like the information, feel free to share it. Click the fucking button at the bottom, subscribe to the channel, and I will keep bringing it.